you keep that flow going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, host is a very important spot.
Very
to me,
important.
It's headliner, then it's host.
Coleman Green, what's up, bro?
Hey guys, how are you?
Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Another great episode. We got the legend himself in the building.
Where?
I hate when he does. I hate when he does
Where?
that.
What legend?
See, I hate when he does that. He does that to every comedian. We're gonna have my dad on the show. He's gonna be like, "We got the legend."
Well, he's the legend to Steve. He bust that nut to get you here. That's a legendary moment.
Stop putting your hands on there. I
Uh-oh.
told you, it carries on the mic. See, look, ready? Our listeners are gonna hear this. Watch this. See how it goes. It's like I can't be Italian. I can't, when I'm trying to prove a point, I can't bang the table. I just realized I can't bang the table anymore.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's good. It's good.
You picked a gorgeous day to
nice.
drive down to the shore where we film.
I guess that's why so much traffic. Everybody's out today.
Yeah.
It was so much traffic today.
And it's funny what I'm starting to see as I get older. I'm seeing that these types of times a year where you like want to wear short sleeves and you can't. For me, it's like, oh my God, I might be wearing a jacket all year round.
Why is that? You get them bitch arms?
I'm getting the bitch arms because I haven't lifted,
Okay.
and I'm getting like that man side boob.
I lifted. I still got the side. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Well, you were an athlete like me. You played football in high school, but you had pecs. Remember they were called pecs?
It used to be way long time ago.
Now they're
titties.
No. I wouldn't stretch that far, but
you ain't seen mine.
they become wings.
And it's the
That's
side.
a nice way of putting it.
I work out like 3 times a week. I'm lifting, and I can't get rid of these side boobs. I don't know what it is, man. So I just started this no saturated fat diet after Tuesday night, because Tuesday night I had that big ass chocolate cake. And I said,
he came to our show at the
I
Lampy
did it.
Club.
I said, this is it tonight. After tomorrow, I'm gonna start this no saturated fat. So I've been doing pretty good. So
see, I say that with the with dieting too. Like I'm always like, it's Easter. I'll start after Easter, and then it's like, my girl's birthday's coming up. I'll start after the birthday. And it's like, it's the first week of summer. I'll start at July 4th.
I just like to say, it feels good not to have these problems. You know what I mean? If all these athletes now in high school, they was varsity, now look at them.
See, he was the ball. He was the ball. Little ass, you just kick him around. No.
I envy people that could eat what they want.
I know, my brother's like that.
Some people, like Mike eats circus food. He don't share nothing.
What's circus food?
I'm just saying, like, you could eat wings
and all kinds of stuff.
You could go to a diner, get hotcakes, waffle, whipped cream.
The last time we went to a show, you ate wings.
I eat like that, and then I deal with the consequences.
He doesn't. My brother was like that. I mean, that he's older now. He's but still, my brother's like 6'2", got abs and shit, and I'm 5 whatever, and Billy galore. I hate him. I hate him.
I wish people told me in high school, because me and Coleman have talked. We both played football. We were both into the gym and stuff, and it's like they don't tell you as you get older, you're not going to be able to eat and lift like this. Like at a certain point, you gotta slow down or.
Listen.
Well, eventually you find out.
The food in comedy clubs.
It's bad. Like I was just talking to a buddy of mine, and he's on the road, and he was like, "There's so much bad stuff on the road. When you get to your hotel, you can put, good stuff in there, but just eating out traveling, there's some bad shit out there, man. And it's hard to say, well, I'm going to eat good on the road, because when you're on the road eating good, that like somebody said that chicken is like $3, but that salad and everything like $15.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I'm just, so it's
well, and the club usually feeds you.
The club,
their menu is based on speed.
Yep.
And what they can get out quick.
Absolutely.
What do you think that is?
Everything
you drop it
fried.
in a fryer.
Everything is fried. They fry the spoons, the forks, and everything.
I don't know
they
about
fry
that.
everything.
Can we get a vegan club? That's what we need.
Listen, I love all the food that the clubs that book me.
It's
I
good.
don't know about him.
No, let me tell you, it's good.
We can tell you love it, Steve. We can tell.
Listen, certain clubs I've been to, I can tell you, I love going back because the food is.
You say pay me in meals.
One booker, I was like, listen, just have me back because I want that steak. That steak is, and I never had vegetables that was so damn good. I'm like, man.
No, it all started for me like early 30s, and it like I remember my tailor, because my day job I wear a suit. Mm-hmm. Hold off. I know he wants to come in on me on this.
I seen your day job. I see you.
Anyway, my tailor, who's Italian, he's from Italy.
Of course.
He made a recommendation, and I got upset. He had the audacity to say to me, "You might want to try suspenders." Oh, I was like, "Excuse you? Did you ever have somebody like you have that joke in your act about being disrespected politely?" I was like, he's like, "It's fashionable, my ass."
He said, "That's the problem."
It is fashionable, but I don't think he was telling you for a fashion thing.
He said he's so fashionable for my ass. The tailor was like, "Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Your ass.
Your ass.
You need suspenders for this ass."
I need to make those pants a little bit bigger, son.
He said, "Look, either you make the changes or I'm charging you more. This shit is ridiculous."
That's funny.
I didn't do it.
Right.
I just can't put. I just keep picturing myself, because I occasionally, after shows, we go to clubs. You know, comics like to go out, grab a drink. I just can't see myself at a bar with suspenders and looking like cool.
Can I have a vodka? Pop.
I feel like in 10 years it'll make sense. My look will. I don't know. You don't see.
You're gonna feel the same way in 10 years. You're still gonna be mad about those suspenders.
Those businessmen, they wear the suits with the suspenders and stuff like that. But I understand. You know, when I had a bad hip, you know, it got to a point when I had to use a cane, and I was like, I ain't wearing no fucking cane.
Yeah, because you don't look like somebody without.
I said, but it got to a point where I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm using the cane, but no, it's the vanity of it all, man. I'm like, I'll deal with the pain and I'll hop, but I'm not using the cane. But it got to the point I was like, F vanity. And another thing.
Did you bring it on stage with you?
Near the end before I got my hip fixed, yeah, I did, because it was just hard. But thinking back, a lot of time I didn't. I just put it down and I hopped up on stage and I sat down. And I don't really think near the end I brought it up and laid it down on the stage. But before, I used to take that pain, and you know, sometimes I had to hop up the steps and everything. You know, it was bad.
And some of them stages don't have steps.
Oh, some of them I had to step up, so I had to go up. You know, I had to take that running start with the good leg to jump up on stage. I was like,
I remember you did my show. You closed out one of my shows at the Albany Funny Bone. Mm-hmm. That they made me book a night, and I remember you walking. They have a railing, and I remember you grabbing the mic and going, "Oh, you motherfuckers knew I was coming." That was right before you got your hip fixed.
Oh man!
But I don't remember you going up there with the cane.
No, I didn't. I think near the end, before I got my hip done, it just got bad. And I'm gonna tell you how the vanity was. All right, I got the cane, and then when I used to travel with my family, we used to go to Disney and everything. I got to the point where, when my kids were smaller, I could lean on the stroller and walk. You know? But then it got to the point they got bigger, it was no stroller. So I had to rent one of the scooters. I'm like, I ain't renting that. Oh, I need a scooter. And I'm riding around, and I just felt so bad, like this young guy. I mean, it got so bad, even my insurance company got one for me. So we went to Carol. Everywhere we went, we had a minivan, so we used to put that bitch in the back of the minivan.
Oh, man.
It was, listen, one of the happiest days was when I was able to sell that bitch and say, I don't need this shit no more. So yeah.
Steve.
What? Oh, kids!
You're gonna get a Cadillac scooter.
No, well, he was telling me a while ago, because like I'm one of the this won't surprise you, Coleman. I get a car wash a lot. No, I want my car to look good.
Know a few people that does
and
that.
He's and like now that my soon to be stepson's in my life, and I'm around kids now. Like all my friends' kids are getting older. My cousins.
It's gonna be dirty.
And I'm seeing when I take the kids out for the day, there's mud and shit.
Fingerprints all in the windows.
Bottles. I'll find crayons, random plastic. I'll sit down. I'm like, oh, what the hell is it? It's like a Hot Wheel. Dude, this shit just pops up.
Wait, my daughter and I think my wife's car. she drew a happy face on the back of the seat with crayons.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. She draws like she got this thing. She like drawing on. I don't know what about my kids, even my stepkid. They like drawing on furniture and walls and everything. So, that card about
it's
to get
over, buddy.
That card about to get fucked up.
It's over,
Well, at least
buddy.
I only got a year left in my lease. So.
Well, when you get the new one, it's gonna be fucked.
I'm probably not going to get anything nice. I'll do the mini.
Well,
I can't see myself in a minivan.
Well,
Everybody else will see you in it though.
Yeah.
Get the minivan, bro.
Listen,
Well, you had kids.
Well, yeah, I had a bunch of kids, so I had a minivan.
I'm not intending on having.
Well, listen,
Nobody does.
Yeah,
Nobody does.
I don't think I planned it. You know what? I would have had 7 kids. Yes, let's do this shit. No, it just.
You know what happens? You get a girl and you live with her, and then wintertime comes, right? And it's like, oh, it's so nice. I don't have to drive to that side chick's house. I can just roll over and get it. You know what I mean? And then you forget to reach over in that nightstand and grab those condoms. You run out. You're like, oh, I'll pull out, but it's cold, and you just stay in there.
Well, they coming literally, buddy. They're coming,
and that's what happens. And I know Italians, y'all probably got meatballs on the side ready, and you eating that itis hits you and stuff like that.
In my house, we do not eat in the bedroom. You eat in the dining room. That's
good.
it.
Just hold on. That's how it starts in the beginning.
But you're changed because the kids, I'll tell my kids, no eating in the bedroom. I go in my sunroom, it's water bottles, stuff stuck behind us.
He's got a fridge and a toaster oven.
It's trash. Like my wife to call, like, look, she used to send me pictures on the road. Look at this shit. It would be bottles, bags of, and I'm like, dude. If roaches and shit come here, y'all gonna be all bitching and everything.
It's probably a new generation.
Oh, these new
different way of thinking.
My mother wouldn't let us eat nowhere, anywhere, but in
That's
that
how
kitchen.
It was in my house.
You couldn't even sit in the living room. You know what I mean?
You couldn't even go through there.
No, exactly. You had to go through the backyard right front.
But you gotta also adjust to the times and be lenient with the younger generation coming up because you don't want them to get bullied or nothing.
Well,
no, I want them to get bullied. Bullied is good.
Bully makes you
it
tough.
helps you make character. Yes, there you go. Steve was about to get punky with it. Tell him the truth. You need bullies give you character.
I don't want my son used to be somewhat a little bit. And I told him I don't like kids being bullied. And I don't, like kids bullying kids. But also with that, it makes you a little tougher.
Yeah.
It makes you a little tougher. I know it's wrong. And, today's school, they don't put up with that shit now. But,
Well, now they're not even in school.
But all these kids, the people would really crack me up when you hear people getting bullied online. Well, if you get bullied online, cut the fucking computer off.
Well, I think
people are sensitive.
I think what it is you need the internet to socialize. It's a part of their world now. So there's no turning back.
Yeah, what they do.
So now every time you open that shit, that comment or that DM is in their face.
Well,
so you're haunted by it. We were in a generation where you get bullied, you get smacked, you get punched, you walk around with that black eye 2 weeks, it's gone.
No, but the bully, you still getting that bully until you do something about the bully. Every day you go, you still had to do with that bully. So what that means is the bullies aren't going nowhere. Life is a bully. Just because you don't beat up on somebody.
You're going to always have bullies.
Oh, at work you have bullies. Sometimes your boss can be a bully. You're going to have to deal with these type of people. They may not physically do anything to you, but the bullies come in all kind of variations. You can't run from them. Everybody's not nice.
No.
And that's how the world is. This is a nice world. You have to be, and if you don't have bullies when you're young or people that's like, you're not going to know how to handle them when you get older.
So you need to have the balance of both, I think. Like I remember when AOL and the dial-up. Remember that shit? I remember a kid in grade school. This is crazy. I remember this story. A kid. Me and him got into a fight in a chat room with like a bunch of kids in school.
Right.
And
did you black out?
No. This is what happened. I was jokingly saying things to him. He felt disrespected. Now this is
was he Italian too?
Yeah, but this is 20 years ago. No, longer than that. 25 years ago. he sees me in the park and he beat the shit out of me. Because nowadays they really don't. You trolled me, I'm gonna troll you. Right. They don't get physical.
And back then,
so because they don't see you. That's the way it is now. Because you see a lot of.
Well, I know if someone trolls me, I try to find their address.
Oh, not the nice guys.
If I know them, I'm going to confront them. There's a different generation.
Oh, we know about that, Steve.
We do know.
We know about that.
No.
You guys saw the last episode. I have another witness.
We know.
Another witness.
No. What I'm saying is, it's like normal where you can get trolled online, and then I see you, and I don't even bring it up.
No,
our arguments exist on the internet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right back to get online. I'm gonna see, but I'm gonna go back online. I'm gonna talk.
Which is weird. We see each other in person. We don't talk to each other. No, it's
some people don't do that. Steve doesn't do that. Steve got things to say.
For me.
I don't speak for you. I speak from experience.
Let's talk to our guest.
We know about lots.
Coleman,
but anyway,
don't say, I'm a nice guy. Coleman, stop it.
Until somebody makes you mad and you disrespecting me. What? Yeah, that's when Paulie comes out.
That's the name of my.
That's the alter ego
Paulie. Yes, that's when Paulie comes out.
We got Paulie. It's the Mike, Steve, and Paulie show.
Coleman, how do you handle bullies in this game? Like somebody that attempts to, and it's come on. I want to hear.
I really have not been bullied in comedy.
So why do they come after me?
Well, first of all,
why do I have?
First of all, Coleman is huge. Nobody is going to mess with.
Why do I have multiple stories that people like, and I gotta check them?
Because you know what it is. You're nice.
You're nice, and people take that niceness for that you're weak.
Thank you.
And then when you feel like when I tell you about that story. He thought, you was, a weak guy, and then when you stepped to him, he started pissing in his pants.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So that's what it is. Some people just have that comes out,
By the way, we're talking about a story of a club. A host said something disrespectful. Watch the previous episode if you want to get filled in.
It was called the Blackout episode.
Coleman was one of the people that referred me to this guy. We didn't mention names.
No, that's cool.
No names. But, Coleman did take me aside and said, you could have handled some things a little better. But at the same time, I mean, in this game, we don't have any HR department. Right, so it's you got to...
Trial by error or whatever it
is.
Yeah, and it wasn't an error, but you did what you did what you did, but I'm just saying... the person you needed to step to was the person that you needed to step to, and you did. After that, you should have just let it go. But still, it didn't hamper you, and I don't think it's going to stop you from working the place. So, which is a good thing.
I appreciate it.
Now, if you don't get a job, then you understand why you didn't get it. But I don't think it will.
But
after when he talked to me, it didn't, do anything. But also, I told you that guy has a history of doing that to people, and like you say, bullies. He has that history.
Yeah, he didn't know I'm nearly a decade in,
right,
which isn't new, but it isn't a veteran comic. You're
right. Well, he, like I said, he did it to another friend of mine when they was there,
he's just that type of guy.
And she was a little upset, but then another comic,
another
comic that was with us at the time, he kind of went to her back like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He tried to blame it on the medication he's taking. Well, that medication will get your ass kicked if you don't calm, So,
yeah.
So, but it's out there. But I have not been bullied, say, by other comics. You get some bookers or club owners who on a power trip that try to run that power game on you, and you just like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you see these things that I kind of don't know if it's ever going to change. Like, how about when you work a room and they tell you not to do certain jokes? Like, they book you, they know what you do, they know your act,
and it sucks.
And then they try to, when you get there, they're like, don't do this tonight. Or,
but
do you still deal with that as a headliner?
Oh yeah. I not as much as I used to as a feature, but even as a headliner, sometimes you come in, well, we don't want you to say this and say that, and I'm like, well, don't you know who you hired?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Like I gotta,
so sometimes and sometimes I get high headed too, and sometimes I would go and I'll do it. And other times I was like, well, I'm about to mess it up with this club because I'm going up there and say what the F I want to say.
Mhm.
And I still go up there and I try to keep it, you know, sometimes I do. I haven't done it a lot, but it's hard. You know, when you ready, you preparing yourself to do your stuff, then all of a sudden they're going to tell you, you got to change your whole set around.
Mhm.
I mean, and I think, again, I think that's that power thing with some of these bookers.
And
You know?
it is a power thing too. And then there's sometimes that, you know, sometimes you can say something, you know, you can say like a dirty joke, but it's kind of like the way you say it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you can insinuate it, and sometimes, you know, there's a lot of comics that just go up and say something. Like, say you say something all right, say you're talking a joke and it's about old people. Like, you know what I mean? The joke can be about old people but still not be offensive, or it could be offensive but it was so funny that it was like, okay, you can get away with that. But then some people you just can't just talk about somebody and then it's not funny on top of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes, you know, the bookers go through situations like that where they don't really know, you know, because it kind of happened, that situation where in my last show they were like, they gave us a list of things that you can't say.
Really?
Yeah, they said, look, don't insult people, don't say anything about gay people at all, don't say anything about old people.
See, my thing.
But I went up and I said, no, I have this old joke and I use it and it works. And I went up there and I did it and it worked, but it was how I used it.
Right.
But then we had other comics that came up and did old stuff, and it was literally like, you're old and you suck and you should kill yourself.
Right.
Like that's not funny. That's not a bit.
Right.
So
and you're attacking.
But these bookers sometimes don't know comedy and don't know to understand that's, you know, so they just give out guidelines not knowing how comedy art and how it works. You know what I mean? There's a difference in what you're saying and how you say it and what you say.
Well,
I look at it like casting. It's like casting a role in a movie, right? He's I can't do what you do. You can't do what I do. I can't do what Mike does. You can't do what Mike does.
Right.
So it's like you have all these comics to choose from. Why would you book somebody if you think it might be a risk to what you have? Don't try to be a puppet. Don't be a puppeteer. Like,
but someone want to be that way. You know, I have shows where on one club I did, and you know, they didn't want me to curse at all, and I curse, you know, and that kind of mess up because some people mainstream room, because I curse, they think I'm like totally Def Jam, and I'm not totally, you know, like I say, I'm not black or white. I'm a comic, and I say what I say, and a majority of the time people like it. But I couldn't say this, I couldn't say that, and I think I've been around where I know how to judge my audience too. You know, I'm not saying all the time I'm right, but most of the time I know how to judge my audience. And I went up and did a set, and I could hold back. I may say the F-bomb like 40 times, but maybe that night I said it 20. You know, so, and when I got off stage, people enjoyed it. And
at the end of the day, that's the point.
And the people enjoyed it, and the book was like, oh, well, it's okay. And then another time I did a show for this person. Again, don't say this. So I went up and I was featuring for her this time, and so I didn't say anything because I knew that the headliner did, and I didn't want to take away. So I did what I did, but a couple of them came out, and as soon as I went and I sat next to the booker was about to start reaming me out for, and people were coming past saying, "Oh, you were great and great," and the booker is like, "All right, fine." But that booker was mad because I was working for him the next night, and the next night the booker told me again, "Don't say anything." But the feature went up. It was going at it, and I was like, "Well, if the feature can do it, so can I."
Yeah.
I did it, and I got a call the next day about you said so and so, so and so, so and so, and I was like, "Well, did you call the feature and tell the feature?" And she's like, the person said, "Yes." I called up the feature. The feature said, "Oh, that person never said anything to me about it."
And then you got bookers with their favorites and all this. High school never ends. You just go to another place, and it's the same things that go on.
I think it's that stuff you deal with when you're not a recognized figure from TV.
Well, that's part
right,
of
right.
it.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
They think like you need them, they don't need you, and that's not always the case. And
they all need us, because if it wasn't for us, there would be nobody in the club.
Yeah,
right.
They all need us, but that's not to them. No, they need us. And listen, I have a good rapport with most of the bookers I work for. But you're gonna always have those out there, and still, even those who's out there, listen, I'll still work for it. And if you don't want me to say anything, I know now. And I know sometimes I got to go in and I can't say a certain thing, and I just take out a word here and there. But I feel to have a great show, if you want me to do what I do, I might have to be free to do what I do.
And that's what comedy is supposed to be. Like, you know what I mean? Comedy is supposed to be. That's why it's a late night comedy. You're supposed to be able to speak.
Yeah, but if that's the case, do you take a job that might not work for what you do, but the money's tremendous?
Yeah.
It depends on
you said
if,
late night.
If rent is due, I mean.
Yeah, you do it.
Well, then, you do it.
But then you ask to do that. Like, I'm not saying if it's.
I mean,
you can have corporate gigs. That's a whole nother thing.
Whole different level.
Where
you're gonna have to make a
supposed to do clean. Yeah.
But it's your choice, though. If somebody tell you that they don't want you to do this or do that, and even if the money is good, you still have the choice to say, I'm not going to do it. But, most comics like, well, listen, fine. I'll just change some stuff around. I'll go in and I'll go ahead and make that money, But there's other comedians like, no, I'm not going to change what I do. I'm just not have that luxury enough to turn down gigs like that and say, well, I ain't going to effing do it because you don't want me to do it. I don't have that luxury.
Last year, I came out and I supported you. You opened for a pretty... Oh, okay. I was going to say his name.
Rock?
I wasn't going to say his name, but it's all good.
I'm sorry.
And if you don't want me to put his name out there, we could cut it out. But so I came out. I supported you. I chilled with you in the green room, and you were opening for a pretty well known national act, and you were middling for him, and generally. From when I work with you, you're usually headlining clubs. Did like a job like that? Did you make an adjustment, as the week progressed, did they start making like?
No, I didn't make any. The only thing I had to do is do less time, and that's fine. The money was good, and listen, and sometimes it's okay because you don't have to carry the show. So I went out there and did my time.
That's the sweet spot.
It's always, if I could just go around for life make headline of money doing a feature spot, shit. Feature spot is the sweetest because you don't have to carry the show. You go in there, you stick your finger in it, and you get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said that recently. I said a career feature is like in cancel culture. I feel like it's the safest place to be.
Yeah,
because if you're somebody that might have some like skeletons in their closet, they're not gonna put you on TMZ. It's like, wait a second,
nope, nobody's gonna bully you
Kevin
online.
Hart's middle act is
you suck. They're gonna troll you online. You shouldn't be a comedian. And listen, it's the sweetest spot. But I don't mind featuring even still now when I'm trying to get gigs in new places. I know because I'm not a major name out there that I was send and say, listen, I am a headliner, but I am willing to feature just to get, to get into the club or whatever. So, and it has worked sometimes. And we'll see, now that everything's starting back up, it's a little tighter right now because everybody needs to work. But listen, I don't mind going to a club and featuring, and like I say, no, it's about the money, but it's not about the money. Yes, I like to make a good living doing this, but I just want to get on stage and do what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if that means I have to feature sometimes, I'll do it. I'm not going back to host nowhere when I gotta. I did that at the beginning of my career. I would go all over just to host, just to get in.
Yeah.
But no, I can't do that just for economic reasons. But I will go and feature. And hopefully I'll do a well enough job as a feature that next time, even though I don't have the name, I do a well enough job that they'll bring me back as a headliner, So
how did you know you were ready to go from that feature to headlining spot?
I didn't. Somebody, when I was emceeing locally, I had a lot of headliners complaining about me as a host.
Wow.
And
Saying
That's
what?
a
Like,
huge,
what was it? What was
huge
the complaint?
compliment
yeah, it is.
when
you know?
that happens.
And so the club I was working, they said, well, we're going to move you to a feature, because, it seemed like you're too strong now for a host. And then when I started featuring, they even started complaining more that they had had to follow me. And, I didn't know. I'm just trying to work on material. I wasn't worried about, listen, when I got the hosting spot, I thought it was the best spot because I was always on stage after each act, and I could do a bit here, a bit there. So I had no problem with that. And then when they moved me to feature, it was a longer time. And I fell in love with the feature spot. Yeah. And then when sometimes I had to go back to host, I was like, I don't like hosting no more. The hosting, you like the ringleader, but just like you said, you just come in, do your thing, and then you're gone.
Yeah, that's great.
But then it came to the point where a lot of headliners was complaining. So the guy said, well, I'm going to move you to headline. I wasn't ready. I said, I don't have the time to headline. And he said, don't worry about it. You'll get it. I'm moving you to headliner. So, like a lot of comics today say, well, I'm ready to feature. I'm ready to headline. Listen, if you're ready, most clubs would say, all right, we're ready to move you up and all that, but it was another club I used to do that I had to kill as a feature. And he would tell me, I'm going to move you up. Took forever. I'm like, I thought you were going to move me up. Oh, we will. And I don't know what was the reason behind it, but then eventually he started letting me headline. Okay. But I was killing all his headliners coming in, and I'm not to say that to say I'm this and that, but I'm just saying it was the reality of it. So
and that's what it's about, having your material. Like, and you have a good material. So
but I didn't like a lot of comedians now today. They always go to the club owners. Well, I'm a headline. I'm ready to headline. You like 1-2 years in the game. Yeah. And you're gonna say I'm ready to headline, No, you're not. Yeah. No, you're not. But these a lot of these guys now, they want even though you may have an hour worth of material, is it really an hour worth of material?
Is it good material?
Right.
Yeah.
Being impatient can really backfire on you. I see a lot of guys that put themselves in positions where they got exposed to the right people before they should have. And then it sucks. You get exposed, and you get a lot of times you don't get that second opportunity.
No, you don't
impress
get that
these
second
people because that's their view of you.
No, you don't.
I mean, I heard Ari Shaffir said a while back on a podcast. I remember him saying that you never get respect in the city or the place you started from, which I could understand. If you're new and you're performing at one venue all the time, it's hard for them to get past that.
Right.
Because they have that view of you when you first started out, and they don't see you grow. Now, if you come in 10 years, they didn't see you for 5 years, and you come in and you rip that, it's like, whoa. Now they can't deny you.
Yeah.
But also, on the other hand, there are some clubs where they see you growing, but they don't want you to go.
And I've been in a lot of situations
and they want to
like
keep
that.
you.
And especially
down
as a
like
host,
that.
because he's a great host.
Yeah, they want to
So
keep you.
if the other guys suck, the host is the job to bring the show up. The host dictates how the show is supposed to flow.
Yeah.
It's not just you go up there and do material. Like, you're supposed to, if the next comic is bad, you have to bring the room back up. If the next comic does well, you keep that flow going. Like, a host is a very important spot.
Very
to me,
important.
It's headliner, then it's host.
Coleman, thank you for doing the podcast, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Right.
I had a ball.
Another great episode. Check us out if you haven't. Like and subscribe, and remember, these episodes come out every Thursday.
Ball breaking with Mike and Steve. That's our episode. Thank you.